Andrew,
By
just
himself lah.
introduce
Go
yourself.
live.
I
Hi,
introduce myself.
we're already
You can hear me,
live.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, good.
Hi, welcome to Kopi with Mahreey. Today we've got a special guest. Today we are very blessed to have a special guest, Andrew Wong from E3 Hubs. So we will be seeing you all in 5 minutes time. Please like and share. We'll see you in 5 minutes time. So we will see you later. Welcome to Coffee with Mary. Our special guest, Andrew Wong. We'll see you later. Hi. Welcome to Copy with Mary. Today it will be a very exciting chit chat. Copy with Mary. So you know that this world, which we know it has changed, and trust me, is only going to be faster and faster. The world is actually going globalization, and we are very blessed to welcome Mr. Andrew Wong, the co-founder of E3 Hubs, a globalized platform with a mission to connect and impact, just imagine, 1 million entrepreneurs. This statement is true. We transform ourselves first so that we can then transform the world. If you are an inspiring entrepreneur or in business but feeling stuck, especially in this current pandemic season, you would not want to miss this session. So stay till the end to hear how E3 Hub has developed program to help budding entrepreneurs out there, and how can Andrew Wong achieve that 1 million entrepreneurs and impact them. So, welcome, Mr. Andrew Wong.
Hello.
Wow,
Hi. Hi, Mary.
long time we never see physically. It's like 1 year, 1 year plus. All everything is online.
Yes, everything is online,
So
and
you
I
prepare your
think,
coffee already.
yeah. Yeah, I have to promote. I have to promote Starbucks here.
So,
Better be prepared for coffee because this is going to be a long night.
yeah, it will be long night. So if you got
And
any,
make sure you got some snacks too, huh?
yeah, it's like watching movie and eating, and
Mm.
actually drinking. So can maybe you can actually introduce yourself a little.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Andrew, and I'm actually the co-founder of E3 Hub. I'm also the founder of Med Incubator. We are all both organizations are what we call incubation incubation company. Okay, and we also very much involved in entrepreneurship development. So when I say incubation company, means that we actually operate incubators, and incubators are physical facilities in where we incubate entrepreneurs, especially upcoming budding entrepreneurs, also known as startup. So I've been doing this for the last 16 years, right? 2005 till now, 2021. So it's a very long time. I have seen uh, entrepreneurs come and go. Personally, I have incubated about at least 5,000 entrepreneurs. 5,000 entrepreneurs during my career, and my success rate is actually 95%. So what it means is that 9.5 out of 10 entrepreneurs, or 95 out of 100 entrepreneurs that are with me, they have gone on to create their own success. And when I say success, my major benchmark is sustainable businesses. That means they're sustainable and growing. So that's my benchmark for success. It is not so much as to whether you get invested, how much money you got invested, and what's your exit. Because many people go into business for very different reasons. So the best measurement for me when I look at success is sustainability and growth of the business. So that's what I do over the last 16 years. And in 2020, I actually launched my a book that chronicles my 24 years of entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, this is my 24th year of entrepreneurship. I started my first business in 1997, okay, as an entrepreneur. But going, thinking backwards, I actually started my first business when I was 17 years old, just before SPM. I started a mobile disc jockey business. In those days, right, in the 1980s, that kind of thing. We used to have parties, during the weekend, especially when you're in your Form 4 year and Form 5 years, right? You will have parties. So we found a gap in the market. There's no one playing music. So me and my neighbor, we actually formed up a mobile disc jockey business and started playing music and become a DJ. So I cannot imagine. I don't know whether any of my viewers here can imagine that I actually become a DJ.
Yeah,
Till today, I'm still amazed about myself.
yeah. I think the viewers, the audience, right? If you know that it's actually mobile disc jockey, you are roughly know Andrew age. So roughly you will be the same age as Andrew. So that generation, that
Yeah,
generation.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when 17 years old, what inspire you to do your own business?
Actually, there's no inspiration. My neighbor and at the time also my best friend. He was the SPM dropout. That means in other words, he didn't do well in his SPM. So then we decided, why don't we do something together? And and we did lah, no, and we talked to our dad, and our dad said, okay. So the two dads talked together and said, okay, we're going to put in a 5,000 ringgit capital for you guys, and you just do your business lah. So I think for my friend, it was more of creating a livelihood. For me, it was just I don't know. It just came very naturally. To me, it was never doing a business. It was being helping him out and being part of that. And so I learned new skills lah. New skills like how to mix music, how to talk like a DJ. So I played gigs in the just not just the houses. I also played gigs in wedding parties, birthday parties, you name it. I done already. The only place I didn't play my gig was in a nightclub. I haven't done that yet.
But it means that that generation when you are working DJ, right? So you will be
Hmm.
coloring your hair, and that
No,
generation.
no, no, no,
No,
no. I can't do that. I'm still in school. No, I'm still studying, and I'm one of the prefect some more. How to do all the thing? My neighbor, yes lah. My neighbor did lah.
so you will be the goody goody one, the jockey. The hair is still black, and only 17 years
Yeah,
old.
I was the goody one, but I didn't know how I got into this. I'm gonna think backwards, right? I still cannot imagine how I got into this,
I think
but
you
I
need
did
to
it lah.
demonstrate. You need to
I,
demonstrate how did you do it.
no, no. I think I wasn't afraid of the unknown. I was willing to. I was just ready to try. Uh, and uh, and just what lah. Just do only lah.
Just
You
do
know,
only, just do
just
it.
do only. And that was actually my first business, and that was also my first exit. I after secondary school went to college, went overseas to study. Then eventually I just sold my stake over to him, and then that was my first exit lah. If you want to call it that way, right? That was my first business exit, right? My first business exit. I came back home. I actually got money, for myself because of the sale. So yeah, that was interesting times. But I never thought it was a business. I never really give it a thought. So that's why I always say my first business was in 1997 when I just quit my job as a CFO, as a chief accountant, and then I went into business. And the interesting part was when I went into business, right? I never knew what kind of business I wanted to do. I just said I want to go into business. It was just a flip of the switch. I just want to go into business. Even my employers also could not understand why I just did that. I couldn't even explain, right? I couldn't even explain. All I knew I wanted to be a business. I wanted to do a business. And in school everybody says that the person most likely to succeed before 30 years old is me. Everyone is saying that. So I think automatically subconscious in my mind, it's like, hey, I'm reaching 30 already, But at the age at 1997, that means I was 27 years old. So you all can guess how old I am now. Okay, so I was 27, 27, and then I was thinking, yeah, I'm approaching 30. So the first thing in my mind was, if I could put in the 18 hours of work for my employer, and I put a similar amount of time into my business, I can become a millionaire. That was my first thought, right? So the first dream that I had was, okay, lots of money, big house, nice car, and girlfriend, pretty girlfriend. That's it. Those were the days, So anyway,
Foresee,
but
right?
it was never meant to be, right? The first the first time I went into business, I failed. I failed very miserably
But
for
what
seven years.
want to ask you, right? Because,
Mm.
like example, you are the chief accountant. Just imagine a chief accountant. Normally, everything they will count. They will even count the risk. How is a very extreme step that as a chief accountant, and you actually move to run a business. So
Yeah.
what make you to have the extreme risk, because it's comfortable that time, and as a chief accountant at that young age of 20 plus,
Hey, but I tell you one thing, those days, the ones that gone into business and opening up MSC status companies, right? That those days, were
those
all
days.
accountants. In the 1990s, they were all accountants. The CEO of those companies, right? Which no more already lah. They're not there anymore lah. They're accountants. Accountants, right? In some ways, make good CEOs.
CEOs.
Yeah.
It's very true for CEOs.
But I know a lot of people beg to differ with me lah. But I can tell you, accountants make good CEOs. Because at the end of the day, right, in business, it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers. And number two, it's also about leadership. So if you are a good leader and you're good with numbers, and you can motivate that leadership team that you have, right? Then you will move. Your business will go. I never understood this, until much later, right? I think much later. You need to be good with numbers, and you need to be a good leader. You don't need to be a good manager. Okay? Because why? The managers are the one that's managing the business for you. That is why you work on the business and not in the business. So that's what I understood. So now I'm making good use of my strong grasp of numbers, and good leadership to lead a team. I don't have to be good in everything, but I have to be good in numbers, because at the end of the day, the numbers are the one that drive. You got no numbers, right? That means no money. You can't do anything. So you have to make sure all the cost structure, the revenue stream are all coming in nicely. Everything is optimized. Then you drive through using leadership, because the manager should be working for you. That is what people call business system. Uh, so we have to build business system, and that's what I'm teaching all my entrepreneurs to do right now.
Yeah, actually, business system is really important. But for
Yeah.
accountant that I understand that is actually with numbers. But maybe
Mm.
you have your talent of leadership, because when you started 17 years old, you really run your own business. So, but
Eh,
accountant, what I see,
wait,
what I know,
I you
okay.
are wrong. You are wrong. You know why not? Everyone, okay, everyone thinks that accountant relate to numbers, but actually it's not true. We don't learn debit credit. When we go to accounting, when we take our accounting degree, we learn, even we do professional, right? We don't learn debit credit. Those are things that is very basic. But what we learn is actually how you manage a business using numbers. how you manage the business using numbers, how you do internal audit, how you build the system. We all learn that as accountants.
Wow.
Ah. The only thing we don't learn is how to do sales, how to do marketing. We don't learn
Mm.
that. But if you look back, right, even for you, even for every one of us here, if we look back, right, the thing that drives our business is the system. So if you can craft out a good system, then you have it ready. Because the rest all are specialty that people can do for you. But important thing is the system. If your system is good, your business will fly. If your
Yeah.
system is no good, the business will crash.
Yeah.
Just like
Honestly,
aeroplane lah.
yeah, I fully agree because big organization because they do have a system and actually they grow. So, like
Yeah.
example, small companies. The best thing is that many I highly recommend small companies start to put in system first to
Mm.
prepare to grow. Many of like even though by this stage we are actually putting in the system in, then only
Yeah.
we dare to move forward or not before. When you move forward, you do not have a system. Everything will make you actually worse. So I
Yeah.
believe that system is definitely, and I fully agree that
Yeah. Yeah.
numbers is very important. It's like the heart of a business. If your numbers is not right, your heart of the business or your business will not run right also. So I fully
Yeah.
agree. But
Yeah.
it's just I'm curious. I'm still curious.
Yeah. 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 And you know what? I'm also teaching all my entrepreneurs now to create a system. So the first system that I ask them to do is to create a SOP. And accountants are very good in creating SOPs because that's what we are trained.
Yeah.
We are trained
So
to create SOP. We
it's
call
like a
it
system. Mhm.
we call it internal control.
I
So
think it's very, very important internal control.
yeah, yeah, very very important. So
Yeah.
I have an entrepreneur that doing F&B. So you know when you do your own F&B, like for example your own kitchen, right? Club, it could be an online food services and whatnot, right? Everyone in F&B business always think that they depend on the cook. The cook or the chef is the most important person. But I turn that around. I turn that and say no, not the cook or the chef. If you think the cook and the chef is the most important person, then you are dead. Because why? They can hold you a ransom. So what we need to do, create the system, the SOP. Just like McDonald's, you don't need to be a cook to cook McDonald's, you know. Everyone in the McDonald's kitchen know how to cook a burger. And there are certain things that you need to automate, you know, a cooker or whatnot, everything automate. Uh, then you create consistency. So one of my entrepreneurs did that, what I prescribed them to do, and they're doing very well now. And from then on, I work with F&B entrepreneurs. This is basically the baseline that I impose on them. They must have SOP. Because when the business scale up, right, it's no longer them cooking, you know. They're not the only one. There are other people cooking. And then I don't want people to come back to me and say, hey, you know any cook or not? I said, why? What are you talking about? Now everyone can cook. Ah. Then when they realize that, yeah, not everyone can cook. I can train. As long as you know how to cook, you can cook. You don't have to be a master cook to cook. Ah. Because everything is SOP.
I fully agree, especially
Mm.
if running a restaurant and so on, F&B business, because
Yeah.
you cannot be today salty, another day not salty, and so on. Yeah, because it's like franchise business, also the same thing.
Yeah.
Every single thing is actually in the SOP, even though a spoon, too much, a half spoon of salt
Yeah.
is recorded. How many
Yeah.
spoon of sugar is recorded? You do not
Yeah.
need to be the best chef, but you need to have the best system,
System.
SOP.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
fully agree on that. But
Ah.
like example from you after as a chief accountant and you actually transit to run a business. So what did you learn from an employee? Of course, an entrepreneur, employee now. Then after that, entrepreneur again. So how after running, how long that you actually work for people? Few years only,
Very
I guess.
short only, just few years
Yeah.
only.
Mm.
And then after that, I came out and do myself. I think I think the biggest lesson about life, I learned it as an entrepreneur. The biggest lesson, because you know why? I spent 7 years in the Death Valley. You know? So for those entrepreneurs out there, if you know what the meaning of Death Valley, that's good. 7 years is not easy. You know? 7 years in the Death Valley means that 7 years you practically earn nothing. You burn out more cash than you earn now. You know, and as a consequence, I had to borrow a lot of money. Thankfully, I got family to support me, right? I got father helping out, grandfather helping out, uncles helping out, mother helping out. You know, but it wasn't a good feeling lah, because you know overnight, right? If you keep asking, right, you tend to lose your own self-esteem. So that's what happened to me, right? Because every business that I go into, I nothing works. For the 7 years, nothing works, and what happened was, so I had to beside borrowing money and so on, right? Even my credit card all maxed out already. My credit card maxed out. My car also kena repossessed. I've been through lah, got repossessed, and then what else? Mm, a lot of things lah, a lot of things. I think those were one of the darkest moments. One of the darkest moments in my startup life. I use the word startup life because I also have, when you're scaling up a business later on, you also have your own crisis. So I use it as a startup life. So it wasn't easy, and I can understand a lot of startups when they first start their business. It's not going to be easy. What people paint it to be, wow, you can be very successful in business, that kind of thing. You can make a lot of money if you go into business, into entrepreneurship. But I can tell you, it's not a bed of roses. It's easy to be an entrepreneur, but it's never easy to grow a business, right? 95% of new businesses fails in the first year, and I was one of them, you see. And so the 7 years, I learned a lot of lessons, right? I learned who my friends are. I learned about how to be very, very humble. Very, very humble. That's what I mean. Because I was a high flyer. No? I was a high flyer. And I can tell you, during the days where I was working, I can go to 𝗵𝗹𝗹𝗶cie every day when I eat. I can go there and eat every day. So that was how high flying I was. I love Japanese food. So I could do that. But when you become an entrepreneur, and you don't change the lifestyle, right? You're good. You have to change your lifestyle, right? But I can tell you one thing, I didn't change my lifestyle. That's the reason why I borrowed a lot of money to maintain the lifestyle, not to build a business, but to maintain a lifestyle. Wow, this is the confession already.
When it comes to Kopi with Mahreey, everything will be out.
Yeah. So, you know, so I can tell you one thing. God really humbled me, truly humbled me. So I became what we call, I used to use this term, the naked entrepreneur. Because frankly speaking, I was stripped off totally naked with practically nothing left. I was only left with 2, 3 ringgit that I can hold on. So in the end, I have no choice. I have to humble myself and go back home and ask for money. And that's the time when I asked my grandfather for money, right? So that's the kind of humble, the kind of thing that humble you, that eventually you start thinking, okay, how can I stop asking for money for my family? My family is not rich, we are not rich at all. Don't make no mistake. We are not rich, but my family worked very hard to bring all the children study universities and so on. So It wasn't easy, and it was all their hard-earned money, and so I asked myself, how could I do it? Then that's where I started to look into, okay, what am I good at? I'm an accountant, I can write paper, I can do this, and then I have passion in doing certain things. So I started writing MSc paper. So when I write MSc paper, each paper I charge 15,000 ringgit. That's how I survived after that, 15,000. And then I started to bake cakes. I bake cakes, I bake cookies. That was
Wow.
from very young, that was my hobby. I love to do that every weekend. So I learned, I do lah. So I sell it to cafes, restaurants, and they pay me. So every month I earn about 7K there. But it was a very tiring kind of job lah. Every day you do that. But it kept me alive for a year plus, right? Until I could find some other way to to put myself back on my own feet again. And what I thought would have been my lowest ebb, okay, my lowest ebb, I was like free falling down, and I don't really know exactly where is the bottom. But I realized one thing, when you feel like you want to give up, this is the area of mental health lah. When you want to give up, right, and you feel very depressed. And bear in mind, I was living on the, I think, 13th floor of a condo. I could jump down anytime, Every day I was looking at the balcony, the swimming pool is there, that kind of thing. But I never had the courage to do that, lah. Okay. So anyhow, I realized one thing, when you think that you are at your lowest ebb, actually you are much more stronger than you think you are. So I came to a realization that whatever it is, God will never let you go further down if He doesn't think that you can handle it, right? And then on retrospect, you can feel that there's something holding you. You're not going to go down. And true enough, right? When you reach that low part already, lowest part of your life, then you start to climb up, and you realize that when you're climbing up, right, you will never go down to where you were before. You keep climbing. So it took me 7 years to get out, 7 years to get out. Okay, to find some stability, and then at the same time to overcome some of the old debt that have been accumulated, right? So that was my startup story, lah. How I went down into the death valley, went down to the bottom, and bring myself back up again, right? And that is the main reason why it fueled my passion of incubating new businesses. Because frankly speaking, I don't want anyone to go through the kind of hell that I went through before. So that's why I became very good in what I did. In nurturing businesses, in helping startups, in walking that startup journey with them. That's the most important thing. So in our organization, in our business, in our company, when we work with startup, we actually walk with them, right? So that it will not become a very lonely journey. Entrepreneurship is very lonely, and especially when you're in trouble, even lonelier, right? And no one, you can't talk to anybody because you can't tell your staff, hey, I'm facing this problem, right?
True. True.
So you only have to talk to yourself. And if you have a girlfriend or you have a wife or whatnot, right, or vice versa, you can't tell them and say, hey, we are running out of money, right? So you're on your own, my friend. That's why I wanted an environment where when I started Med Incubator and now E3 Hub, right, I wanted an environment where people can call home. So that's where the incubator is. People can call home, have a chit chat session with entrepreneurs within that incubator, sharing, and you have problem, just say it out, right? If it's something that's affecting you mentally, just say it out. That's the reason why sometimes my phone, this phone is on up to midnight one. No, we are like a befriender, no people, because it's during the night time where entrepreneurs have a lot of things running in their head, right? And they probably that's the only time they want to talk to people, and no one hearing them, But that's where we are, lah. All the text message will come in, things like that. Yeah.
But for
So
you,
that,
when you are that 7 years, right?
hmm,
How did you handle it? 7 years, no
yeah,
joke. Because it's like now, even though the pandemic, one
hmm,
year plus,
hmm.
we see a lot of people killing themselves, and yours one is 7 years. This is only 1 year plus. Well, especially right now, people owe credit cards, people owe business downturn, no cash, getting loans is difficult, and so on. So maybe you can actually just share how did you really handle that 7 years, not only on the psychology side, but also the emotional side. That I think everybody would like to really hear it. And a lot of audience, maybe some of them are facing a lot of challenges. And now maybe it's a downturn that you can down at the lowest part, the what you call is actually the darkest moment.
Yeah, that was the dark night of the soul. I always call it the dark night of the soul, right? Because that's the time where you feel that you're the only one in this world and no one else really care. But I have to say one thing lah, or a few things lah. First, love of family lah. Okay, love of family, right? Love of family is very important because why? Even though you feel yourself like me, I felt myself very detached, but I still cannot let my family down if I just want to, you know, just cut it out lah, like cut off everything, right? So love of family, love of God, right? God played a very important role in my life, although I'm not a very good Christian, okay? But I know that He's there because every single thing, whenever I'm in trouble, there's always a miracle one. There are angels helping me, right? Angels in the form of humans, okay? There are people helping me out one. I never had a single doubt, although I'm a sinner, but I'm never a single doubt that He's there, okay? Third thing is I scared to die lah. Right? That's one thing. I just scared to die. Okay. So and the third thing is I know there are times that I was emotionally depressed, but I always tell myself that I'm much stronger than what I am. Okay, because I look back, I know that I have been through worse things before, and I look back and say, look, if I could go through that, I think I can go through this as well. So I learned to be grateful for having lived through, some of these hardest moments of my life. And yet, even now, when things are not working out well, I still can think back about how I've gone through. Okay, and very important also is you just need to tune your mind and say, I need to move forward. You have to move forward, right? Because if you don't move forward, that's where you fail. Even if you are able to walk 1 cm, you're moving forward. So take baby steps. It's like a storm, the storm is coming against you. And or it can be a snowstorm or what, a rainstorm or what storm, right? So for you to move against the wind, right, it's so difficult. But you have to go through it, even with baby steps. And then when you go through that, you can be rest assured, right? I can assure everyone in this who are viewing this. I definitely can assure. You will come out. You will get out of it, right? That's definitely an assurance. But the moment you stop, that's it. You are sucked into the storm. You can never get out unless you walk again. But if you walk again, it's like the storm blew you another 100 meters. You have to walk that 100 meters to get back to where you were before, and then walk forward again. So in other words, never give up. You can't give up. If you give up, then you're giving up on life. So I couldn't give up. I have to go on. I have a lot of things going on against me. No, I can tell you that. Personal life, business life, career life, everything against me. But I still cannot give up. You see? So I just move on. I can tell you, I get job offers, right, that can get me out of this shithole that I was in. They can pay me about 20K a month, because of the specialty that I have. I gave it up. I said, no, thank you. I just want to walk through this journey. I don't know why. I still believe in the journey that I want to walk in. So, ladies and gentlemen, so this is 24 years later. You're seeing me now, right? Those were the 7 years, the earliest 7 years, the first 7 years. Okay, but I can tell you one thing: the next 24/7, next 17 years were one of some of the greatest adventures that I ever had. The ups and downs of entrepreneurship, right? So, yeah, the only thing I can say is you must be mentally strong, right? You need to be very strong mentally, especially those who are going into technology business or doing a startup. You have to be mentally strong. If you're doing franchise business or a trading business or whatnot, yeah, you got product you can sell. But when you do a startup, right, you're starting from nothing. You're building something out of nothing. That means going down and then bringing it up again. So you have to be very strong mentally, very strong physically as well,
I
in
think
order to
God,
run the journey.
yeah, I think God will not give you any ideas that you can't handle,
Mm,
and God will not give you any challenges, okay,
right.
or dark time that you cannot handle. So
Yeah.
I think this is really really very true.
And,
And
and when you think that you cannot handle, actually you can handle. It's just that your mind is telling you you cannot handle. But you have to remember your human spirit is much stronger than your mind. So you have to keep moving. Yeah. Later on, I can tell you other challenges that I face.
yeah, yeah. If you want to know more, tune in, or maybe we need to do a second episode. Actually,
Yeah.
Andrew, we are very blessed today. Andrew went to vaccinated, and he's still here, and he's still drinking the the coffee. So
I now have freedom because of 2 doses. Now I got freedom for dine in. I got freedom to travel.
I don't think they announced yet. No,
Soon, soon, soon.
soon. Hope so. Hope
Mm.
so. But also we dare not go out. Also. Okay. So, maybe you can actually explain about your business currently, E3
Okay.
Hubs. I think many people would like to know incubating, how is it like, and so on. Audience, please kindly write any comment if you want to ask question. We highly recommend you to ask question, and please kindly share and like or share and share. So, Andrew, so maybe you can actually introduce on
Okay.
your E3 hubs.
All right. So I do a recap. So we are in the incubator business. Okay. Our business is incubating startup. So actually we are also developing entrepreneurs, right? So we are considered a business developer as well. So anyway, there's a big difference between incubators and accelerators, right? So incubators are physical facilities, the same as accelerators. Okay, and every incubator facility they have what we call incubation program. So same thing as accelerator, you have acceleration program. So what's the difference between these two? Okay, I start with accelerator. Accelerators normally they go for early stage startup from ideas, and they try to go from 0 to 1. When you say 0 to 1 means, right, it from zero, from nothing, from idea to a product, right? Usually it's the MVP, the minimum viable product in 3 to 4 months. Then they put you into what you call, give you a lot of mentorship, a lot of assistance and so on for you to build your product. And then after that, demo day, try to get investors, and then that's it. The end. The program ended. Okay, so it's like you take one batch, go into a conveyor belt, manufacturing conveyor belt, and then you go through, and then at the end, you go for demo day. If you can't find an investor, thank you very much for participating. You're on your own now. Incubator is different. Incubator, they also do the same. They do the same thing. They help you to move from ideas, incubate them, right? Turn it into an MVP. Go for early commercialization, and then accelerate the business, making sure that your business model is validated, accelerate the business, and eventually help you to grow the business. So we are there every single step of the way, and we handhold. We hold your hand. We walk with you on that journey, right? And then we move you one stage to another stage to another stage until you are growing, and you may not need us anymore. So for us, right, we are taking from baby, baby, premature baby, I call it, premature baby to a toddler, right, and then to a teenager and to an adult. Okay, so that's what an incubator and an incubation program does. So different incubators will run different programs. So for E3 Hub, we run our own program, our own methodology, because that's the methodology that I used for the last 16 years, which yielded 95% success rate for any startup that comes in. The reason why our methodology works is because, okay, we know that when a startup starts to build a business, it is a premature baby. So you know, as a premature baby, when it comes out, right, you have to put them into an incubator. It's a small box, right, with the baby inside there, and then the nurse will use their hands, in the glove and gently rub them because the baby need to feel the warmth of a human, the human touch. So that's what we do. We provide the right environment, we provide the human touch, so that you can grow from a premature baby into a kid, into a child, into a toddler, where you have to learn first to walk. First, you need to learn how to crawl, then you need to walk, then you run, okay? And then, of course, not to fly. If you want to fly, don't be like me when I was a kid. That's what I did. I was playing Superman. I was standing on my table, my dining table, and learn how to fly. So don't learn that. Okay, so that's what we do. That's what we do. So we have a process. Okay, so the early stage process, if we want to have every of our entrepreneurs to do market validation exercise. So we have to understand the market gap, the market need, the customer demographics, right? The customer psychographics, and so on and so forth. Once we have that data, right, which I actually work with all my entrepreneurs in the program, then we take them to, first of all, identify value proposition. Okay, now a lot of entrepreneurs make this basic fundamental mistake. They always look at USP. What does USP stand for? Unique selling point, right? That means in other words, they are comparing product, comparing what they can offer with their competitor, that kind of thing. But we forgot one thing. When humans make a buying decision, it is always an emotional buying behavior.
Very true.
Okay? That is something a lot of entrepreneurs don't do that. Don't think about it. Right? But then again, where did I get this from? This is actually a negotiation tactic. When you do terrorist negotiation or hostage negotiation, you always look at their emotional state. What is the emotional system of the hostage taker lah? Okay, so in our case, what is the emotional system of our buyer? This is something a lot of entrepreneurs don't think about. That if you look back, right, in every buying decision that you make, it's always emotional. Right? It's either you like the salesperson, that's why you buy. You know, when a sales girl come and ask you, hey sir, you want to buy this or not? Right? And then start to describe, and you like this girl, have a very pleasant personality, not that you love this girl, okay, but you just like this girl, right? Then you say, okay, I buy from you. And frankly speaking, you don't even need it. And your reason, I want to support, right? Same thing. That is emotional. So our thinking is never logical one. So the logical thinking is, okay, I compare my feature function benefit with your feature function benefit. But people don't do that. People talk about emotion. So I always tell my entrepreneurs, when you craft out value proposition, you have to look at the why. Why does your customer willing to give you that money and take your product? Okay? So there are many reasons one. So you have to figure that out. And the only way to figure that out is market validation. Right? You talk to customers, talk to people, strangers, so that you know what is their emotional buying behavior. Right? Once you know that, then you craft out your product structure, because you know you can craft out your product and services based on the customer value proposition. Right? And when you do that, I can tell you one thing. You know your customer, you know what they buy, why they buy, and you know what they buy. Okay? And if you know what they buy, you also know how much they're willing to pay. So don't you think that one half of your business model canvas is already filled?
True.
Right? So you just need to figure out the rest. So that's where we help our entrepreneurs from market validation to business model canvas, and then to understanding the basic building block for a company to grow. Right? There are several layers that every businesses need to look into, which I won't go into detail now. Right? And then from there, craft out the growth strategy. What is your first year strategy, your 3 to 5 year strategy, and understand what is your big, hairy, audacious goal, which is your vision. You can have a 10-year vision, 10 to 25-year vision, 10 to 25 years behind, right? You need to have that northern star to guide you, to guide your business to achieve that big, hairy, audacious goal. And of course, you also need to understand why you exist. What is the purpose of the business? Why? Right? Give give your stakeholders a reason why they should stick with you. So this is the first part that we do for every startup, right? And that is what I call the chaos leadership program that we run we run for 3 months. It's a 3 month highly intensive program where the only commitment that I want for my entrepreneurs is every week we meet up as a group, right? We meet up as a group, okay? So every week we meet up, right? We go through the different stages, because by the end of 3 months, you will have great clarity in where you want to go, how you intend to execute it, right? And very focused execution strategy, right? So that's very important. Uh, Once you know that already, I tell you, your fundamental of business is already covered. I don't need to do much already. All you need to do is just follow the plan, right? Anything that comes in is a distraction, okay? Because we know the plan that we formulated together will move the needle. Most important thing to move the needle, that's where we talk about numbers, right? So this is the Chaos Leadership Program that we offer under our Effectuator membership. So in E3 Hub, we run a membership program, right, which is part of our virtual incubation. Right? The CLP, we call it Chaos Leadership, we call it CLP. So it's like a virtual incubation program for me to help all the other entrepreneurs.
So to join this membership for to actually entitled to be in this incubating 3 months. So how much is I think the audience is curious. How much is the membership will be 20,000, 30,000?
I, I
It's 3 months.
I think I think I can do that, no, but actually
Yeah,
no.
but
To
honestly, yeah,
everyone,
but it's not when startup entrepreneur, right? All these seven fundamental is not easy to find. They need to search through the experience and so on. They feel, then they get up, they feel, and now as a member in E3 Hub, and they are getting this experience and 3 months guidance. Where are you going to get this? So how
this is
much it costs actually?
it's a lifetime membership, lifetime, it's 299 ringgit.
Wow.
299 ringgit. You get to go into this program, and on top of that, you get one monthly one-on-one video call with your entrepreneur in residence, also known as me. You also get you can ask me anything anytime because we have an internal chat. Right, our community is not on not on WeChat, Telegram, or whatnot. We are on a closed platform, so the community is there, and we also give you some tools that you can use to build your website. To buy your domain, to buy hosting, and so on. And it worth about these tools altogether is worth about at least 10,000 ringgit. So your 299 is very well spent for.
Yeah,
Right.
actually, it's like 2 meals or 3 meals gone, and this is your lifetime learning. There will
Yes,
be
it's a
details
lifetime
from
learning.
our yeah.
And then once our e-marketplace is up, they will have free access to the e-marketplace as a merchant, and we only take 5% transaction fee for every no transaction that made. So, and this is global. When I say global means that we not just have members from Malaysia, we have members from Philippines, we have members from Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and different parts of the world. And because we have just run our EB start last month, right? Last June. So we are getting traction from different entrepreneurs from 20 countries that have participated in our EB start. So it's a global community lah, Now, why am I doing all this? Very simple. Because again, it goes back to my passion. My passion is about helping entrepreneurs. My passion is about helping them to grow. So this close business community is where the E3 symbol, E3, E3 stands for Entrepreneurs Empowering Entrepreneurs. So in this closed loop economy, we're creating an economy by itself. You imagine if you have 1 million entrepreneurs inside this system, right? You can see the dynamics, right, in how these entrepreneurs will buy from each other. So it's a closed loop business ecosystem. I don't have to worry about recession anymore because everyone is supporting each other in here. And all I need to do is to get more people to come in. So we don't end with just 1 million people. Remember, there are 4 million entrepreneurs in this world. No, 4 million plus. No, sorry, 400 million
Wow.
plus in this
Wow.
world, right? If I have 10 million entrepreneurs inside my platform, I definitely will be able to help a lot more entrepreneurs. And they themselves will help themselves. Because I believe entrepreneurs know what to do when you make available resources available for them. So my job is to make resources available for them. Market, partners, even raw material supplier and whatnot. But everything in a single ecosystem. And there you have it already. And these partners will open up to the external party. not in this closed loop ecosystem, because every partners will have their external ecosystem as well. So you can imagine how we can impact the entrepreneur world.
Yeah. So for you, like example, for e-start business, e-start, e-biz-start, e-biz-starts was very, very successful. And when
Mm,
I actually went in, a lot of the new start business owners actually
mm,
have their page and actually funding. They are trying to get some fund and so on and introducing their product. So, and this
yeah.
is a very successful one. And for the e-biz start, this is number what year? I
Okay,
think,
I can tell you we started this start in 2011.
wow. Okay.
Okay, 2011. 10 years later, we transform it into an E. So EB start. So it's the first time we do EB start. So it's been 10 years. So EB start was a transformation, right? It was a transformation. And when we were thinking of EB start at the time, right, which was last year, we were just thinking of it as another event. But then later on, we realized that, hey, let's do something bigger, right? Let's leverage on all our network that we have around the world, right, especially incubators, and do something. Because we are living in an extraordinary time. So, and then we now have a platform, right? It's an e-platform. So let's do it. So then we start mobilizing, right? I mobilize all my incubator network around the world, right? Get them to come in as partners. So we start by building community partners. Because by building community partners, they will themselves will reach out to all the other entrepreneurs, right? Frankly speaking, we don't have marketing budget, man. Our marketing budget is very, very small, even less than 10,000. But
Wow.
we just do that. We just leverage.
It's
It's
very
the spirit of
powerful.
leveraging. It's all about leveraging. Okay. And that's another reason why I keep doing I want to do this EB start. First, it's of course to say, hey, E3 Hub is back. We are back. That's number one. And we are back to do bigger things. Number two, I want entrepreneurs to know if you dream big, you can do big. You can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. So I have to tell everyone, you can. You can do it. So we did it. We had 20 plus participating countries. We have 561 participating exhibitors from 20 plus countries. You have 4,000 plus visitors, and the number is still going, because there are people logging in right now. Every day, we about 100 plus people logging in, right? And we had 100 and I can't remember, 61 or 81 talks, because we had three different channels. The the EB the EB Start Summit, the Masterclass, and the Women Business channel, right? Three channels altogether, 181 channels, and 181 different kinds of talks, and many other speakers, right? So it was ongoing for 2 weeks. But day in, day out, it was really fun. And then we had our EB challenge, right? And this EB challenge, we ran it like the first weekend, and then after that we did the finale on the last day. I can tell you, doing online was like fighting World War Three. World War Three. Because you know why not? When we were doing the EB challenge, right, we have participation from about 6 countries. We have Tunisia, we have Pakistan, we have India, and then we have Philippines, and we have Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, of course. So in some countries, right, their internet connection was really horrible, totally horrible. We were firefighting. My back room, I can tell you, we were all firefighting, trying to get, hey, who can go online? Okay, go, go. So our schedule all mixed up already one. But we pull it through lah. We pull it through. Okay. So I have to thank my backroom team, my event team, from Wood Event. They done such a tremendous job thinking on the fly, problem solving. Bam, you see, and that was when you had your adrenaline was going high and then coming boom down low and then go back high again. You know. But that was the best event I ever had, right? And when it all ended, the inspiration that I wanted to tell entrepreneurs is, look, if you believe you can, and always think big, right? Don't think too small, because by going big, that's where the opportunities will come, and that is true for us. After EB start, a lot of opportunities came. Everybody want to work with us, and this opportunity is not just Malaysia. No, we talk about Middle East, Indonesia, and so on. Okay, so the opportunities are there. And now I'm thinking a bigger project. Right? My bigger project is Asia Startup. This is where I'm going to find the next unicorn across Asia, right? In the Asia Startup pitching competition, just like Asia Got Talent. So we'll bring all these things together. Because why? Thanks to COVID-19. Thank you, COVID-19. Thanks to COVID-19, everything is everything is already virtual. So I can run a virtual program anywhere in the world. So again, entrepreneurs have to change their perspective now. The world is your oyster. Just like how we change our perspective to see EB Start is the world now. We are going beyond boundaries. And that's exactly what we did. And we want to be that role model and inspire entrepreneurs to think bigger than what they think they are.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Andrew, actually, I'm very blessed. Andrew actually connected me with actually Arab Saudi, and we have a Zoom, and I got an interview by Arab Saudi partners and so on. So I'm really very blessed. That's why he's actually trying to connect, and actually we got one comment that from Lady Go.
Mm.
So, Lady Go, she said, "Our seafood Andrew Wong, thank you for your loving kindness and compassion given to all your members during this hard time. Your encouragement, your support, and advice. God bless you. Stay safe." So,
That's not Lady Go, that's Baby Go.
Lady Go,
Baby, if baby, Baby,
Baby Go.
Baby Go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
He's an entrepreneur from Penang.
from Penang, and it's actually it's not easy to get praise. It's a loving kindness and compassion. Actually, I many years already I know Andrew, and he's really very kind, and he's very willing to go all the way out to help. And for his E3 hubs membership, 299 is like, honestly, 299 to buy the knowledge of more than 5,000 startup entrepreneur. I don't think anywhere you can get his experience of more than 5,000 startup entrepreneur, the hard time, how they grow, the fundamental, and so on. I'm not promoting. I'm not promoting. It's from my heart that the value is like this, and what will you get that is actually this high? And it will be a lifetime membership. Lifetime membership. I also hope that for the newbies, new entrepreneur, join the membership, join E3 Hub, okay, as a member to learn more, to share more. And aim of the E3 Hub is actually to impact 1 million people. So what's your aim to impact? How long is the duration that you want to impact this 1 million entrepreneur?
Actually, that vision was coined in 2020. Uh, so it was a 10-year vision. So that means by year 2030. But I think with the success, again, thanks to COVID, we are able to use technology now to work with entrepreneurs. regardless of where they are in the world. So I'm working with entrepreneurs in Africa as well, right? I have African entrepreneurs. I'm working with entrepreneurs in Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and so on, and of course Philippines and Vietnam. So I can do that here at home, right? I sit in my desk, have a comfortable chair, and every day I'll be mentoring them, I'll be talking to them, that kind of thing. And I really enjoyed it. So it was, because of this, I can foresee, and of course, because of the success of EB Start, right, I can foresee that we will be able to reach our goal within 5 years. So by the year 2025, I think we should see a very significant increase. So next year, actually end of this year, we are going into Indonesia already. So Indonesia is a huge base. Probably we can give me about 100,000 members. Philippines, we are already there, but we have not really, because of COVID, we couldn't move fast enough. But if we really move fast enough, we could hit about another 100,000 members in there. Vietnam again, another one. But I'm also looking at the Gulf state and Pakistan. Pakistan is very fanatic about entrepreneurship. So, you know, I can imagine those numbers now that I couldn't imagine. I mean, in the past, right, it may take me 10 years because I need to build 1,000 entrepreneur hubs, physical entrepreneur hubs, right? Right. But now I don't need to build. I can now reach virtually. So that's what I want to do. And then after EB Start, we set up a platform called the Global Entrepreneur Acceleration Network. So the platform, the portal platform is going to be ready end of August. And this platform will replace the E3 community. So all my community will go under this platform. And that is where every entrepreneur in the world will be able to interact with each other. Interact each other, create relationship with each other, partnership with each other, do business with each other. And that's the realization of my dream. You see? So now you don't need Andrew Wong to do that. You just go to the platform, you're going to say, yeah, I know Chida from Saudi Arabia. Let's do a chat and then see whether we can create opportunities together or not. Right? Or you need a mentor. Don't you have to talk to Andrew anymore. You just go and see, who was the list of mentors? I want to talk to this person. So you initiate a chat. But if you want funding, you have to talk to me first. Because we have a reputation to upkeep. Right? We have a network of investors, but I'm very careful with that because I want to make sure we have fundable, that means investable businesses that can be funded to our investors. If they are not fundable and I push them to the investors and if something goes wrong with the deal, it spoils the reputation. So my requirement is I need to work with the entrepreneurs first. Take them through the chaos leadership program, and then from there build the fundamentals and everything. Work with them on execution, and then only funnel them to investors. So we have our own network of investors that we have built over the number of years already. And we want to make sure that we maintain that integrity and the reputation as an entrepreneur developer. Right? So I do not funnel deals based just because somebody say, hey, I need to find investor. I don't do that. I have to work with them first.
So, any of you all out there, audience, if you want any funding, please join E3 Hub.
Hey,
So,
don't say like that. You cannot say like that.
no, at least they need to join already, go through the process because we also understand it's not that just only to get investors or funding. At the end of the day, they do not understand the business and so on. The process must be actually very, very important. And I think for funding, you need to have a process. It's not people coming in, you want to get whatever amount and
Yeah.
so on. At the end of the day, as a funder or investor, they want the people, the entrepreneur to succeed because I understand that many of them, especially when they get the funding and so on, out of 100, maybe one only successful. So you just imagine for Andrew, 95% is success rate, nah? 95% success rate. So I'm not saying funding is success rate, but it still depends on you. You by
Yeah.
learning the process of it to improve, to progress, and only if Andrew feel that okay, you can actually grow because Andrew, the connection, the name of his is like okay, when call an investor, it's also indirectly his name is there, the credibility.
Yeah.
He need to make sure that your business really can sustain, is sustainable, and can run for long term or
Yeah.
exit.
And my first thing that I always tell my entrepreneurs is this: the best investors are your customers. So if you cannot get customers to buy from you, better not get investors to come in. Because you know why? Investors are even more demanding than your customer,
Very true.
right? They want their ROI. Customers, they know. They buy, they know already. If it's good, they will come back. If it's no good, they just won't come back. That's all only. But investors is different. They put the money in. The moment they put their money in, they feel that they own your business. So you are a slave to your investors. So are you prepared to be that or not? Okay. So your job as the founder is to generate money for your investors. It's not to feel your passion anymore. Right? It's to work for your investor. The moment you get investor money, that's what the scenario is going to be. And if you don't deliver, you will face the consequences, which I did last time.
Actually, it's very, very true. It's not about your passion when you start to call investors. The next thing they want is ROI. What's my profit? What's the
Yeah.
percentage of it? Next year, can you grow 20%? It's actually very, very true. So this is
Yeah.
some of the process. Not means that sometimes people think, oh, when money 100,000 come in, 200,000 something, then very happy that moment. But not
Mm.
really. So you need to see the whole process and understand the whole process because Andrew really have this experience that he's very very willing to share. And even though like example for him that actually introduced the Arab Saudi friend or partner, um, so he do not get anything, he only
Yeah, don't get.
introduce, yeah, and connect the network. And he know that when we connect with them and so on, we can actually grow to another level if we connect correctly and we tap on each other and two side win-win situation. It's not only one side win. So
Yeah.
I feel that two side win-win situation is actually very very important. It's not every time is what for in for you. It's what
Yes.
in for both and two side win-win. And you if you want investor is you work for the investor indirectly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
yeah, so yeah,
try
Andrew
try
can,
not to get investors. Right. There are many other ways to get money. One. So not necessarily just investment.
yeah. So got many ways, so you can actually learn from Andrew. Got many ways to get
Yeah.
not investor can be funding.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we have any question? Okay, let me see. So your program, maybe you can actually talk more because you say that it's actually 3 months program.
Mm.
Example, the 3 months program weekly you need to meet 1 week once on Zoom or on the network, or how do they connect with the community through your portal?
Actually, right now, all our E3 community is inside a platform called DingTalk. So DingTalk is a platform for it's a collaborative platform like from Alibaba, right? But I think we are going to outlive DingTalk soon. So that's the reason why we are building this platform with the help of one of our partners, and subsequently migrate everyone into the platform. That platform is a very very powerful platform, right? It has almost everything that I really wanted, in that platform. Okay, so but currently now it's all on DingTalk. So those who subscribe to our Effectuator membership, we will onboard them into DingTalk platform. So there are two groups. One is the general E3 community group, and one is the members group, which is the paid members, the Effectuator members, right? Everyone in there are by invitation currently. It's by invitation. Okay. Reason very simple. I only want quality. So in the E3 community, we have partners, we have investors, we have corporate, of course, entrepreneurs and so on, and mentors in that community. But when we move into the new platform, it'll be easier to identify who is who because we're going to have a directory. You're also going to have badges. The badges that will tell you whether they are investors, partners, corporate, entrepreneur, or members or whatnot. Okay, or mentors. So we have badges to denote a particular entrepreneur or organization. Yeah.
It's very, very powerful actually.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful because this idea has been around for many years, but just couldn't find the right time. Sometimes things happen with their own time, and I just feel that in 2021, this is the time. This is the time where everything going to work out for us, right? The vision that we had, the kind of thing that we wanted to do, it's all happening now, 2021. Right? Starting from EB start all the way even to now, right? From EB start, now we are talking with a China counterpart, right? One of the listed company in Hong Kong, but actually is a China company to bring in to help Malaysian who have IT product or even non-IT, it could be food-based, frozen food and whatnot, to penetrate into the global market, particularly in China. But because they have offices all over the world, 56 offices around the world, they can also use their offices to create market access for our members. So that's one. Then second thing is because of Indonesia, when we have a partner in Indonesia, we are working with them, with the partner now to create qualified business matching. So this qualified business matching, that means we qualify the prospect first and then we match it with our entrepreneur. So that's what we mean by qualified business matching. Then the third thing that happened after EB start is now we're creating a co-working space in a mall, in a shopping mall. That was the original concept of E3 Hub, to have actually a co-working space in the mall because we wanted to what we call we wanted to bring entrepreneurship to the mainstream. So we did that. So we're doing it now. It's called E3 Co-Space. Right? It's in the O2O mall in Puchong. Currently in Puchong. O2O stands for online to offline, offline to online. So in this mall, we are going to run what we call in E3 Hub, we have a program called the Business Retail Acceleration Program. That means, in other words, we're going to help businesses to go online. All retail business go online, and current online business to scale up in the online world. Right? As long as you're serving B2C customers or B2C segment, whether you're online or offline, we're going to do that. We're going to get you in, and we're going to accelerate. We're going to accelerate the businesses using our program and with our partners. So that one is one of the very strong programs that we are building to help entrepreneurs go through the COVID-19 economic downturn. You see? There are a lot more other things that happen even after this. My plate is full already. So many things.
No, your brain is functioning so
yeah, my brain is functioning over time.
It's like, okay, it's not enough, it's like more and so on, and the ideas, the creativity, the innovation side, the wow,
I know.
it's overwhelmed.
Because I can tell you, we really, really want to help entrepreneurs. Right? I think that's the only thing I know how to do. And I consider it as a mission because you know why? Again, after going through 7 years of that hardship, I don't want them to go through this. And I can tell you, I've been through every single hardship as an entrepreneur. Right? So I know, I've been there, I've done it, gone through it. So now I'm paying forward. I'm helping out, right? To lend my experiences to help an entrepreneur go through this. So
I
it
think
becomes my personal mission,
it's your purpose in life.
right? Yeah, that's my purpose already, you know. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't know. When I first graduated from university, right, before I went to work, I actually want to be a Catholic priest,
Mm.
right? I wanted to be a priest, but I went through some of the the initial formation and so on. Then my grandmother said that this is not the line for you. So I said okay, so I dropped the thing out. But the idea of service, I may not be a fisher of men, but I can be a fisher of entrepreneurs. That means I help entrepreneurs, right? So this is also another so-called mission that have been given to me, and I take it very gladly. So a lot of hardship that I've gone through, I always feel that I'm being put through this so that when I get out of it, I know what to do with entrepreneurs when they face a similar hardship. And it is quite true, because why? I have entrepreneurs that come to me, right, and ask me how to do this, especially those who have cash flow problems. And I really know how to solve all these things for them. There's one F&B, cafe that had this cash flow problem. So I was trying to figure out what's wrong with this cafe. I just sit down and then I observe. I observe here and there. I notice a few things wrong. Because the owner is never there, so you don't know. So I sit down, I can see. Then I tell them, okay, this is how you overcome this is how you overcome, this is how you overcome. And true enough, we turn around the cafe business. See? So sometimes when you're in cash flow problem, right, it's not because you're in cash flow problem. You must find the source. That's where I'm good at. I sit down, find the source, right? And then I guide you along the way. So sometimes some entrepreneurs may not want to listen to all these things because ego. So that I cannot help
Kill.
really.
Yeah. Actually, honestly, ego kill. Really, ego kill. As
Yeah.
an entrepreneur and business people, we need to be humble. Actually, you will get
Yeah.
more. I'm not saying that we expect more, but we will automatically we have more. So and
Yes.
every challenges that you face that past 7 years, right? It make you who you are today to guide. It's very similar
Mm.
to my case also. Whatever challenges
Mm.
and I face, it make me who am I. And my purpose is to help special needs. And your side is to
Yes.
help the entrepreneur. So it's
Yeah.
everybody do have a purpose, but do not purposely go and find your purpose. Many people is every time asking the question, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? But
Yeah.
everything in your life is the stages going through, you will automatically find your purpose. So you don't
Yes.
need to specifically, I want to find my purpose. No need. So who
Correct.
make you today? It will be the purpose of your life. So we do
Yeah.
have one question, one last question. It's
Mm.
actually Steve. Why shouldn't get investor? So I just think you just need to get the right investor instead of limiting our own self. Today business is sharing market business, not doing it alone. Just my thought.
Okay, my answer to this is very simple. Now you just say it yourself already. Today, business is sharing market business. What? Not doing alone. I agree. In today's world, you can't do things alone. But that doesn't mean investors will come in and help you. What you need are partners, not investors. So go and find partners, right? They can help you and do it together with you. Investors, they only have one single thing, ROI. So every time they will ask you, can you make my money or not? Can you make my money or not? If you're not delivering, can you make my money or not? Why should I invest in you? I want my money back, right? And if they can't get the money back, they sue you. And that's what happened to me in my early days. Okay? So it's not easy. If you want investors, right? Yeah, you may want to find the right investor, but the question is when? When you're scaling up, then I say yes, right? Because you are investable. That's why I use the word investable. When you scale up, because when you scale up, you cannot do organic scaling. You need extra cash so that you can move faster. That I agree. But when you are starting out, then you better be careful, right? One way to get whether you're investable or not is your customer. Your customers are your best investors. If they invest in your product, invest in your business, right? That means they like you, then you are investable. You will start to see your numbers growing. Then when you see your numbers growing, right, you are in a situation where, okay, should I have investors or should I find another way to scale up my business? Now, many people don't like to use the word loan, okay? But loan is also one of your financial instruments. You have to learn to borrow money, okay? Because if you get investors' money, yeah, it's not a free equity, It's not, there are conditions attached on. If you cannot meet those, you're good. Okay? If you can, good for you. But if you cannot, most of the time you cannot. Right? Then you're good. Okay? You have to answer to your investor. Don't think your business belongs to you now. Your business belongs to them. Not you. Right? So you're working for them. But when you take a loan, you're still in control of your business. And your job is to make sure that your cash flow is always generating so that you can also at the same time service your loan. And when you service your loan, you build up your credit standing because you can never depend on investors forever. Okay, so look at some of the public listed companies. They always have loan. Where got they think like us one? No loan, no loan. That's not the way you do business, right? There's always what we call gearing ratio, right? 2 to 1. That's why you must know some accounts, 2 to 1, right? So that means companies do take loan, right? They make sure they are not overgeared, that they cannot service the loan. Okay, so you must have good financial management when it comes to that, right? And loan can also help you to scale up your business, and you will need that. A lot of my mentees take loans. I encourage them to take loan, right? And also part equity as well, right? So there's some of this equity, maybe you can pay off the loan. Doesn't matter, but loan help to give you that working capital. You don't get investment to give you working capital. You get investor to help you to scale up, to grow, but not working capital. Working capital you take from loan. That's why if you know how to differentiate all this, then you will know when to take loan, when to take investor money, right? Now, some people will say, look, we are a new company, how to take loan? Frankly speaking, today, there are what we call P2P lenders, right? They may charge a higher interest rate, but they take risks, Okay, they take a risk, So you want to grow your business, you can take all these working capital loan from micro businesses. In our EB Start, we have companies like MicroLeap, right? They give working capital loan, micro loan from 50 to 100,000, and they just require you to have 6 months in business. So you just need to have 6 months in business. We also have bigger boys who do P2P lending, right? The company called Money Save, they do invoice financing, right? They finance your invoices. They can also finance some of your growth, right? And they can do like 100K, 500,000, even up to 15 million, right? So all these things, all these financial instruments are there already. So if you want to buy assets, you don't pay cash. You do hire purchase or leasing so that you conserve your cash. The whole idea is to conserve cash flow, right? You should conserve your cash flow so that you can run the business. You see? So investors, when they see, right, wow, you know how to manage your financial properly, the money that you have, that you're pumping in, right, is for you to grow the business. Grow it, maybe set up branch number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Or You can do franchising. You don't have enough money, you take other people's money. Franchising. You license it out, franchise it out. So many ways. So many ways. Right? It's just that a lot of entrepreneurs don't think about this.
Yeah, I think your experience, right? A lot of sharing and so on, a lot of things that even though I'm learning is B2B. The invoice financing, I don't think I can actually use it because we are
It's
running an
called
education
factoring. It's called
factory.
factoring. Hmm.
So I
Actually,
think
you can. You can.
oh, hold on, I will talk to you privately.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so honestly, for this section, I really learned a lot of things and so much of things. Even though actually, and as an entrepreneur for I think 3 decades, 3 decades. But all these things, honestly, as an accountant, maybe you all see in different way, a different thing, and a lot of things is about numbers, and especially the loans, the loans, or even though it's a very different way of seeing, and I'm learning from a different type of entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Okay, more on the numbers. I'm seeing more on the passion and so on. It's very true. You need to have passion from passion, but of course we are still passionate because we are educator. So honestly today I really learned a lot of things. Then I will be asking you more questions after this. So okay. So I think last word that you would like to share to the audience.
Ayo, don't ask me last word lah.
Okay, many words. I can be rapid. The first episode, the second episode.
I
So what
I
do you
I
say to
I
the
say so much
entrepreneur?
until I don't even know what's the last word already.
It's so many words that is actually very connected to the entrepreneur world actually. So what's the thing that you actually want to share to the startups entrepreneur?
Well, I mentioned, I think you need to do big things. Okay, I always tell my entrepreneurs, you have to do big things because only big thing will build your confidence, your credibility in the market, and your brand. If you are the small time entrepreneur, you won't go anywhere. Right? So you have to dream big, right? You must have big goals because when you have big goals, that's where you grow. If you don't have big goals, you just stay stagnant. And when the competition comes in, you die. Okay? So how do we stop the competition? Okay, anyway, I want to rephrase that. Competition is good, huh? No, don't get me wrong. Competition is very, very good. Right? I love competition. I just find that I don't have that much competitor in the market right now. But I use other people as my benchmark. So competition is good. Okay. But important thing is how do we step up against our competition, our competitor? Always need to be growing. Always need to be growing. Right? Because if you the moment you stop growing, that's the moment you will face your downfall. Okay. So every year you must do new things. Every year, big thing. Right? Because when you do that, your competitor cannot catch up with you. So you just mentioned I think so many things going on in my head. Right? I'm doing so many things. Can the competitor keep up with me? Uh, And then the next thing is this. Make sure you have the right people on the bus. When I say right people means your right management team or your right leadership team. Because these are the people that you will depend on to drive your business. And these people, right, make sure, right, you really treat them well, right? Treat them very well. Right? These are your leadership team.
Mm.
And without that, you cannot drive the bus. You'll be too tired. You're a one-man show. Okay? Have a good team to drive the bus together with you. Right? And
Good
make
team.
sure that
Mhm.
alignment, there's alignment in terms of core value, there's alignment in terms of vision, mission, okay? and there's alignment in terms of goals, your strategic goals.
Okay.
This alignment is not
So
just to your leadership team, but this alignment into your entire staff, the entire organization, even down to the cleaner. Make sure you have the alignment, okay? Because everybody fight the battle with you. You're like an army, going into a war, into a battle, okay? You are the commander in chief as the CEO, and then you have all the generals. Right, the generals are your leadership team, and then you have all the different battalion, platoon, don't know what, right down to the private. Okay, everybody has a single mission when they fight a war. Same thing.
I
Everyone in the
think
organization have a single vision.
I think Andrew, we need to start another topic about this already. Oh no, will be
Yeah,
on the
no.
12 p.m. So we will actually many nuggets in this conversation already. I believe many will have learned much and gained so much. Thank you so much for your generosity in sharing and being so open, honestly. For
Mm.
everyone else, feel free to know more about his journey. And if you need help in starting your business, you can visit his website. So,
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much. We are blessed to have you. Most probably, we will have another episode to talk more and actually to discuss more. So, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. And thank you for tuning in with Mary, Copy with Mary, and Teacher Mary channel. Thank you so much. And stay safe. Take care of yourself.
Okay. Good night, everybody. If you
Good
need my
night.
phone
Good
number,
night.
you can ask. You can ask Mary for my phone number.
Yeah. You can actually
And
view, you can connect the website.
yeah, I can
Thank you.
connect my website as well. I connect to
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
Okay.